Hi, everyone. It's Cricket Barrientos, founder of Sounds of Autism. I'm here with Dr. Khan today from Pakistan, and we're here to talk about executive functions. I have no idea what that means. Dr. Khan is going to fill us in on that today. So welcome, Dr. Khan. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good. Thank you. And today we actually added closed caption for all of those viewers that are watching and they don't always hear all the words. You can read it at the bottom of the page as well. So thank you guys for joining us. And Dr. Khan, we're ready when you are.
I'm ready, and let me show you. Okay. Can you see that?
And I'm sorry. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect. It's coming up.
So this is Spectrum Talk and Tips, and today I'm going to talk about executive function. And let's see what executive functions are. Executive functions are basically functions. Let me just give you you could say a definition that is you could say written by some author. Executive functions are basically describe overreaching regulation of goal-directed, future-oriented, high-order cognitive processes. It means that these are those.
Dr. Khan, it never came up. It never came up.
Okay.
There it goes. Now it's up.
Now you can see that.
Yes.
Okay. So executive functions are the skill that is required for a person, and why I'm talking about that, you will, when I will go forward, you will understand that why we included this in our today's Spectrum Talk Center, because it means that what is decision we have to make. Can we complete our task or not? What if the task change? What if we need to change the task? What if things don't go the way we want it to go? Now you're getting the point why I mean that these are important. So these are basically higher order cognitive functions, processes that is future oriented, that is some kind of abstract thing, that things could change in your life. And if you talk about a child, then a child has a lot of issue when we talk about tasks, changing tasks. The therapist is not present. Maybe you don't have time in a day to take your child to school or to the playground. Then the child start reacting, and child don't know what is happening and why it is happening. So executive functions are those skills, and these are higher order function that is required related to planning, organizing, regulation, attention maintenance, emotion regulation, prioritizing, and staying on task, and also develop intensely in the preschool. And that is very much important for children to, or for parents to understand that what are executive functions, so that they understand the idea why the child is reacting, why the child is so rigid, why the child don't want to change the life routine, why the child don't want to change what is happening in the day, and why it is important to maintain that routine, and why it is important to tell the child on the on the boards, or you could say the visual board, that we are going to change the activity and things like that. So let's talk about working memory. Working memory is a kind of memory that is required for all of us, for all of human beings, to get the picture of something for 10 seconds. After that, that information go to the long-term memory. So it is dedicated one's ability to retain and manipulative information for over short period of time. For example, when we're talking to our children who have autism, who have ADHD, who have other disabilities or other problems or behavioral problems, when we talk to those children don't understand. And that's why we have to repeat the, you could say, we have to repeat the commands, we have to repeat the directions, because the children who have autism, who have ADHD, they have issue in executive function. So it is related to working memory. So behavior, and basically over here I'm talking about cognitive and behavior models that come under the umbrella of executive function. And that is very important to understand that when the information is not in your working memory, then you're not able to understand what is going on. You're not going to take that information to your brain, and you are not going to react to that information. So it is related to working memory. Second is set shifting cognitive flexibility. We all know that who have autism, who have ADHD and related condition, these children are not flexible. They always follow the routine. So executive functions are those functions which assist in maintenance of shifted focus in attention and response to different demands, rules, and setting. Like, we don't have a home like environment everywhere, environment change, but we understand this idea. Whenever we are taking the child to the new place, the child don't perform very well, the child got temper tantrum, sometimes the child got any kind of issue with the passage of time, or whenever we take the child to some certain place, and pace is not according to child attention, or child don't want to be there. So that is basically, that is a domain also come under the umbrella of executive function. Next is response inhibition, self-control, which enable one to resist impulse action and help in setting priorities. For example, if we have children, if we have worked with children who have condition, who have sensory processing issues, who have autism or ASD or ADHD kind of condition, those children are impulsive. They react rapidly. For example, they are standing in the line and just child try to touch them. What they react immediately. They will just push that child because their fight and flight response is activated all the time. Same is the case for, if you remember, we were talking about that program with police officers, and why the children is not command following and the child can run. So it is basically this undercoming this area, that the child don't have self control. The child is all the time on the urge to fight and flight response. So we need to understand that the child have emotional, or you could say executive functional dysregulation, and we have to work on that. We need to understand more about executive function, and that is going to help us out. Okay, let me give you example of what are the behavioral description of executive function. EF stands for executive function. First is inhibition, controlling impulse appropriately, stopping one's own behavior at proper time. For example, when we are in an emotional charged situation, then we want to say something, but that is not a place to say all the time, because we might be in a place where we are in a business meeting, or we might be in a place, for example, it is a playground and it is a social situation. Somebody might snatch something from us, somebody might maybe push us, and they might not need that intention, but we have to control our reaction. So it is basically inhibition, that can we control our impulses or not. Next is shifting, moving freely from one situation or activity to another situation, or it also includes problem solving flexibility. So we already understand that children with autism, ASD or ADHD, they have issue in shifting or moving from one situation to another situation, and they have issue in problem solving. So shifting is also a part of executive function. Next is emotional control. It means that appropriately modulating emotional responses. It means that either the child is able or adult is able to control themselves emotionally or not. We